wanna change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't wanna hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. Change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. It's about you. I would never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. Your radiant truth. I know that you will understand, because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. Your radiant. You're radiant. Freedom. Obsessions always jumping through. I'm so tired. to blast off. Who's ready to blast off with me? We're doing a 240. Let's go. Yes, 2 military jets crashed in Idaho. Everybody was okay, but there's a couple hundred milli down the tubes. Just a couple hundred milli. Milli vanilli. What I need, put a picture so I can see. February can chase the days away. Yeah, away, away. Why listen to what they say? Save yourself for another day. This one's come and it's gone to the wind again. Yeah, again, again. Just listen and make amends. You've been down for as long as you've ever been. This way's up, but you're down again. It's just like you to pull off what you thought you couldn't think today. The lost stranger, the wonder familiar face. Broken hearts made of pieces that shake. I've had one too many of them. So now you pretend. Yo. Yeah, no, this song will give you the chills. It's about a very, very heavy-duty time of my life. Let's go. You guys ready? You ready to fuck up some MAGA shitters? Or what? Just like Snowcastles, oh, we drift to the edge. Just like Snowcastles, oh, we drift to the edge. Just like Snowcastles, oh, we drift to the edge. Just like Snowcastles, oh, we drift to the edge. Oh, we drift to the edge. Oh, we drift. Oh, to the edge, to the edge. Oh. To the edge, to the edge, to the edge. Oh, oh.
Yeah, let's do it again.
All right. Let's go.
Yeah, dude, you're welcome. You're welcome. I wanted to let that one play. Dude, that's a good tune. That is crazy. Now, somebody was asking a question about that. So all of the shit that you hear, the little like all the weird sort of chirping noises and the crazy shit that you do to MLV, let's go. Thank you, boss. No, let's go. Fucking go, baby. So all the little chirpy, echoey shit you hear there, okay, in that song is from that's a slide, okay? I was using a slide on a guitar with a whole bunch of delay on it, but I wasn't playing it like a slide with notes. I was more doing like pick scrapes and scratches and doing, things like rubbing it with the edge of the slide. So it was a lot of like slide noise making, using the slide on the part of the strings behind the nut and behind the bridge and shit like that. And so it was like a track of psychedelic sort of mind melding shit added on top. I mean, the only downside really, when we listen to these old recordings, if I'm going to get honest, I think the songwriting was really good. And most of the like production, the textures, everything, so good. The one problem with all of these old recordings, except for maybe the Radiant, Wonderful Mess, and You're on Blue, I was better by then. But if we look at the old Soul Driver, the old Full Blown Red recordings, I couldn't sing. That was the number one problem with those recordings, right? Like even with Snowcastles and even with Do You Need and shit like that, I couldn't sing. I mean, I sang like okay, right? And you hear the recording where I did a bunch of takes and we cobbled it together and it sounded pretty good. But compared to now, like after I took a couple years of voice lessons in Portland and actually learned how to sing, there was like a difference, because in those days I was singing, but especially live, my voice would get lost in the mix, and my voice was definitely not super on key live. And it lacked something that when I went on my Let Go Afterglow tours, okay, with the Wanteds, at that point I would go out on stage and my voice would cut through and like everyone in the room would sort of like take notice. And I just didn't have that back then. Okay, I didn't. And especially live, that's where you really noticed it. You wouldn't notice it so much on the recording, but you would notice it live, that my voice didn't have the command, right? And then by the time I did Let Go Afterglow and Failure Looks So Good, it was different. I would go out in the room and I would start singing and people, like, the hair would stand up on the back of their neck. And so it was a very different vibe, right? Yeah, no, there's definitely, like, again, it sounded pretty good on record, but it didn't sound good live. And it wasn't even that it sounded bad live. It was just not captivating. Like when your voice is really vibrating on that frequency, like it hits people. They get like tingly when they hear it in the room, right? They're like, oh shit, dude, that fucking voice is like filling up my fucking nervous system. And back then, I didn't have that. I had to work many years to get that. And by the time I did my solo record, I fucking had it, But, live and learn, baby. I tried to take voice lessons back then, but I just didn't believe in myself. I didn't. It wasn't until I got to Portland that I really started believing in myself. And part of that was because I moved up here with the band and I came here to like fucking do this thing. And then they all quit and they all fucking bailed. And so then I was like, all right, fuck you guys. I'm going to make this shit happen. So as a singer, to practice my voice, so what I did was a couple of things. I mean, I studied with a voice coach, a guy who is very good up here in Portland. And you know, there were a bunch of breathwork exercises that I would do that involved, like, you know, pinching your cheeks together to sort of disengage the muscles at the back of your neck. And then you do a lot of vocal scales and intervals and stuff where you practice using your diaphragm to breathe while simultaneously like learning how to control your vocal folds, like the folds in your neck. And so I would do about like 35 minutes of exercises every day. And I did that for years. And then I would also do them on tour, and then followed by, you know, a regimented like water with slippery elm, and then being really careful around shows to like sort of let it revive and heal it. A lot of like lemon teas and shit like that. So, but it was also, though, part of it was the teacher was like really good about like letting me know when I was sharp, when I was flat, and how I could adjust that with my diaphragm and how to visualize that. Like, he taught me a lot about visualization, and he just had really good exercises for stretching the, like the thing about that vocal coach in particular is he had like a plan of where you start and what you switch to after 3 months. And then like 6 months in, as your ability develops, he had a plan that would open up your range and give you like more and more precise control over your throat. And so he was just really good. And he was kind of like a psychologist too, because let me just tell you guys that the one thing about singing, and I believe this applies to a lot of things, is there is technique and there is repetition and practicing the fundamentals. However, the primary thing is confidence. Okay? The primary thing is like when you believe you can control your vocal folds, you can control them. And if you think you can't, you can't. And so there really is like, you have to develop a mindset, okay? There's like a mindset that is required where you have to move from like hitting a pitch to just like letting your fucking like voice do the work, right? Letting your voice, just letting it go. There's like a, you know, I don't know, man. It's hard to describe. It's like, it's just, you have to know that you have it. And when you know you have it, you have it. Even if you don't, you still kind of do. You know what I mean? It's like, it's hard to describe. It's like, you know, you can sort of will yourself into, you know, a lot of things, actually, you know, if you believe it. You know, if you know, what does they say in the Big Lebowski? If you believe it, it is no dream. Dude, let's go. You're welcome, Janet. But yeah. Yeah, it's like, but yeah, the confidence is really important. And that's especially important when you're on tour. After your training classes and learning solfège, I will never sing in public again. Let's go. All right, Elf. Don't do it. I'm going to hold you to that. But yeah, you have to train your ear and shit. Am I going to tour again someday? No, I don't. I have no plan on it. But you know, if you fucking, if you, I guess, you know what the quote is? That the quote is actually, if you will it, it is no dream, is the quote from Big Lebowski. I said it wrong. I said, if you believe it, it is no dream. But the quote in The Big Lebowski is, if you will it, it is no dream. And that's actually a little toxic, believe it or not, right? How do you keep your voice good now that you don't tour? Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, guys. My voice is pretty thrash now. My voice is terrible. Like if you hear that, like I can't move into my head register anymore across the vocal like crack. I can't do that. And the reason is because I scream and shout for like 8 hours a day, or I did for years as a Fortnite streamer. And now I still like pretty passionately use my voice from a chair for several hours a day. I mean, if I was smart, I would probably be doing vocal exercises and shit, because I've really fucked up my crossing the register break. I can't really do it now. It's really hard for me to hit those falsetto notes because I've been thrashing it. But that kind of reminds me, I should probably do some vocal exercises. But so the belief thing, though, let's just talk for a minute about the belief thing, guys. Because, we like learning how to believe, okay, is really difficult. Like, I feel like we don't get taught how to believe, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there are people who talk about like Christianity and faith and all that. But if you look at like, and we're going to talk about this is a good segue because there was like some faith revival thing at the Capitol. But I think religion is a real example, okay? Because if you look at most Christians, they think like, oh, they believe, they have all this faith. But with the amount of time they spend like trying to convince everyone around them or insisting that the world conform to their belief system, it's very obvious that they don't believe, that they're like really, really unsure. And they spend a lot of time like trying to talk themselves into things. And that is very, you know what I'm saying? That is very, very like, a prime example of how believing does not work. Okay? Rip Chris Cornell. I know I saw somebody talking about Chester too. Because like the thing about believing is like real believing, guys, is not talking about it. It's more like just showing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I still have that even to this day that, when I'm really talking about something, I know that I'm like trying to talk myself into shit or trying to like get myself back on a train of thought. Because I think belief is an action, okay? I really do. I think believing is not this idea of, oh, I know I can do it. You know what belief is? It's just showing up and doing it regardless of the noise. That's really all believing is, okay? We have this idea that believing is like, you're convinced you can do it. I just know. And it's not. It's like believing is just regardless of all the noise in your head and all the like whatever second guessing and everything, you show up and you take the action because you're certain that taking the action is going to get you to an outcome. And you're certain that like that outcome is going to take you somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So I really think the belief is the action and less about the thought. Like, I don't think believing in yourself I don't think people who believe in themselves walk around thinking about how confident they are. They simply are willing to show up under any circumstances and like make it work, right? And I think that like, ferocity of showing up is a thing that you can train. You really can train that. You'd sing along to Bobby McFerrin and Yes regularly when you were a kid. Let's go, Elf. Oh shit, dude, don't worry, be happy. You know, can I just tell you, like, somebody gave me it was a fish, right? That you put on the wall, a fish that when you'd walk by it, it was motion censored and it would stir and start singing Don't Worry, Be Happy by Bobby McFerrin. Dude, I had that thing for about like 2 days when I wrapped that shit up and I re-gifted that thing. I'm like, dude, get this fucking thing out of my house, bro. Every time you walk by it, the fish would like turn its head and start singing. Oh my God, bro. Dude, it was the worst fucking gift ever. Bro. Dude. Oh shit, boss. Don't worry. Be happy. It's saying, I will survive. Ashland's, oh man. Oh shit. Dude, yes, I mean, I never got into those bands, but yes, Owner of a Lonely Heart was like heavy rotation on MTV. So I did see Owner of a Lonely Heart like a lot as a kid. I watched that song a lot. Dude, I was a big MTV head, like 12-hour a day MTV user. I was like, dude, tapped in. MTV blew my mind, guys. Okay, because I've always been a real visual person, as you'll notice by like my storytelling and shit. I'm a very visual person, and something about MTV. I always loved music, but the combination of music and videos and commentators and fashion and like, you know, seeing the artists, it just like just absolutely captivated me in a way that like, to me, MTV was probably one of the first like truly life-changing. When that came out, like my life after I saw Video Killed the Radio Star that night, my life after that was forever changed. Okay? It was. It started a chain reaction of how I looked at content. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like every movie, every TV show, every like ad in Vogue magazine or Guitar World, every piece of media after I got hooked on MTV, I looked at it different. I feel like I looked inside the creation in a way that I didn't know was possible before MTV. Okay? MTV changed the way I consumed all visual media. And in a profound way, like it's almost like everything became one of those 3D, you know, art things where you look at it with a relaxed face and you can see shit. I feel like every piece of media became that after MTV. Because of MTV, it like heightened my insight, my ability to just sort of scrutinize and take in artwork and of all visual artwork. It just blew my mind. You know, it really changed me as a person. You hated it when it changed to reality shows. Yeah, see, for me, when it changed to reality shows, I just got rid of, by then I had moved out and I didn't even have cable. So I knew it was there, but I was like, I just let it go. But yeah, it was terrible when it went to reality shows. I mean, it definitely changed what the next generation was getting out of MTV, right? I mean, they got influencer culture out of it. I got like trained to be an artist, you know? Cult of Personality was the first one you saw. See, I was there at the very beginning. Dude, I saw the very first video on MTV, and then, you know, I think it was like August 1st, 1980 or something like that, or 81, one of those years. It was in the summer, but I watched that first video, and I didn't go to sleep that night. I like literally the next day at like noon, I was still like just watching like, what the fuck, dude? Dude, I could not put it down, man. I couldn't put it down. And then later there was a show that came on that was on like Friday or Saturday nights from like midnight to 2 a.m. or 1 to 3 a.m. It was called 120 Minutes. And that show, MTV 120 Minutes, this was in the 90s, right? Early 90s, like maybe late 80s, early 90s. I don't remember the years. But 120 Minutes was like, that was the way to discover like the new up and coming bands. Like it was so good. You know, I mean, I was living in LA, but that show was, what was it, Sunday nights? All right. That show had like, I discovered like the Smashing Pumpkins. I discovered so many fucking so many bands. Okay, so many bands. See, I didn't like Headbangers Ball because I didn't like Ricky Rackman. The music scene I was in, Ricky Rackman was not cool. I was more the Jane's Addiction Fishbone scene, and Ricky Rackman was more Sunset Strip. From kindergarten through 6 hours, went home, watched MTV for 2 or 3 hours after school. Let's go, Alf. So, like, in LA, if you were in the indie scene in LA, you didn't like Ricky Rackman. Like, you just hated him, okay? But let me see, dude. I want to look at it. 120 Minutes. Was fucking, I want to see what years it was. 86 to 2000. All right, there it is. So it started in 86, right? 86 to 2000. And dude, so, right? And it released March 10th of 1986. That was, oh, shit. All right. That was a Monday. Crazy, dude. Right? So, the early years at 1 a.m. Eastern. All right. So then I guess it was earlier than I thought. See, I thought it was late. 1 a.m. Eastern, which would be 11, right? 11. See, I thought it was on later, dude. Right? Interesting. So it wasn't even on that late, right? Crazy. All right. But so, dude, Martha Quinn, dude, she was amazing. But anyway, so 120 Minutes, though, was how, like I said, musically, I was the guy in my friend group who found all the music and made, like, I made mixtapes of, like, all the up-and-coming shit. And I used to find all of the, like, great bands, all of the up-and-coming bands on 120 Minutes. Dude, it was so good. I know Kennedy's MAGA. That's too bad, dude. I had a big crush on Kennedy when I was a kid. Lamb Chops, Fraggle Rock, PBS was the best. Let's go, Stephanie. See, I miss Fraggle Rock. Fraggle Rock, I was too old. By the time it came out, I was like a teenager, and I'd moved on. But I think if you were, you know, but dude, man, oh shit, bro. Dude, it was so good. Love that show. But all right. You ready? You ready to get into some politicking, guys? Fraggle. Dude, that shit was on HBO, right? I remember. There we go. All right. You still have Fraggle Rock? See, Fraggle Rock was too late. I think people that were born in the 80s or late 70s got Fraggle Rock. I was born in 69. So for me, by the time Fraggle Rock came out, I was watching Porky's and shit like that, and Friday the 13th. We had cable TV, dude. And like, I was not watching any fucking goofy ass kid shows, right? Kennedy went MAGA because of Kurt Loder. All right. Dude, she was so crazy, dude. Right? I mean, when you look at her, like, dude. Right? It's pretty wild, but she was pretty nutty, boss, in the 80s. She was. It's disappointing, but, you know, people go MAGA, man. They do. People go MAGA. Downtown Julie Brown. Yeah, all those DJs were amazing. You know, there are some people are just MAGA. But if it weren't for Porky's, A Christmas Story wouldn't exist. Dude, let's go. Dude, I liked Martha Quinn. I did. I was a big fan of Martha Quinn, dude. Right? I mean, come on, dude. Dude, she had the 80s hair, dude. Let's go, man. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I was a huge Martha Quinn fucking devotee, dude, back in the day. Dude, she definitely had the 80s hair, boss. She did. Dude, I had so many crushes, though. You have to understand, like, as a kid, I was so awkward around girls. Like, I was just a nerd, and I couldn't even talk to girls, so I used to have the mad crushes when I was a kid. I had obsessive crushes, a lot of posters on the wall and shit. Dude, you had 80s hair? Dude, I, like, a lot of that 80s hair kind of came back in the early 2000s. I actually dated a number of girls in the early 2000s who had that Pat Benatar, like 80s shag hair. That shit was like super, it came back. It did. It came back. I feel like it always is around, really. It's like a garage rock sort of staple, really, when you think about it. That shag, you know, it's like anywhere there's garage rock, you still have that hairstyle. Dude, you like Melanie Griffith? All right. Let's go. You got a short shag? Let's go. Dude, I'm about to get a haircut. I think I'm going to dye it, though. After I get my haircut, I'm going to go see Vanessa. And after I get my haircut, I'm going to dye it. I'm going to bleach it. I'm going to bleach it white. Right? I am, dude. I'm bleaching it white. You didn't date anyone until you were in college? Oh, shit, boss. Elf, let's go. Dude, I basically started dating in college. I started dating summer before college. I had a German girlfriend, right, from Hanover. And that was my first girlfriend. And then we sort of stayed slightly in touch over the year. And we dated again the summer after my freshman year of college. But, or summer, yeah, we dated, we dated in the summer before senior year. And then we dated in the summer after my freshman, bro. Was it? No, I think maybe it was summer before college. I can't remember. But dude, she was amazing. Like, she was, dude. I loved Germany. It was just hard. You can't really have a distance relationship. But all right, you ready? Dude, let's go. Dude, all of those VJs were amazing. All right, we have some politics to look at, guys. We're gonna get in here. All right, so let's start off and look at some Ashley St. Clair. All right, now, guys, I did reach out to Ashley St. Clair not too long ago about the Benny Johnson stuff, and she said it's coming. I have not heard anything about this. I'm going to follow up with her. Maybe we'll even get her on the show and talk to her, because I am still waiting on this Benny Johnson, you know, undeniable proof of his indiscretions. We know it's out there, guys. We know that Benny Johnson has been a very bad boy, okay? We know it. But Ashley St. Clair's been making the rounds, but she is on a a CBS, okay, or a CBS Australia, not CBS, 60 Minutes Australia. She did a 60 Minutes Australia because you know them. They went a little, right? They've gone a little bit. What do you call it? Like 60 Minutes Australia has gone, you know, they're a little bit tabloid. Look at her though. Dude, she looks like, I don't know. She looks a little scuffed at times, boss. I mean, she fucking sold herself down the river. Hold on, let me see if I can find the full output of this, guys. Give me 1 sec here. Because she's involved in a lawsuit, dude. Channel 9, 60 Minutes. Yeah, see, I'll be honest, guys. You ready? Like, for me, dude, I like the gossipy tabloid shit, okay? I do. I admit it. You know what I'm saying? I admit it. I thought this full piece is out. I don't think this is out yet, guys. I think we may, hold on. I think I may have bad information here. That the full piece has not come out yet. I thought, I'll be honest, I saw that and I didn't look at it. I thought the full video was there, but it's only like 1 minute. Dude, she is, hold on. No, she was featured on it. It's about the deep fakes, right? And oh, I see. They have not put it on YouTube yet, I think. I think it's just on, it is just on fucking, on their whatever. On their website. Oh, shit. Okay. So that's what it is. So she did the interview, right? It's just only available in Australia because it's on the 9 Now website. And they have not put it on YouTube yet. So, all right, we're gonna see if we can cobble together some fucking footage of this thing real quick. All right, let's see if there's some clips. Could it be wrong to out Benny Johnson? So, Manicler, here's the thing. I don't think it is. Okay, I realize that outing someone. Outing somebody, like, I think in general, outing people is not okay. If somebody is not ready to come forward to the world, you do not out them, right? Under any circumstances, even if you hate them. With one exception, I think public figures that are actively engaged in, like, harming a community, if they are gay, then that needs to be, that's of the public interest, okay? Because that's not like outing Benny Johnson's sexuality. That is showing Benny Johnson's defrauding his fucking, you know, his fan base. And basically he's, you know, spreading, essentially he's being like a fraudulent public figure, right? So in that instance, it's not so much like you're outing Benny Johnson. It's like you are providing a public service of showing that a public figure is lying about who they are which I think is really important. Public figures who are making influence content, especially in the political realm, if you catch them in lies, they need to be outed. Now, if I knew a person who was not a public figure, who was an anti-LGBTQ shithead, and I would not out them, okay? I would not out a private citizen who was not a public figure, even if they were like anti-LGBTQ in the way they presented themselves, because that's not in the public interest, right? That's where I draw the line. For me, it's a public interest thing, okay? But even if there was somebody that I disliked and I fucking hated them and I knew they were gay and I had proof that they were gay and they were like an anti-LGBTQ prick in, you know, in the neighborhood or whatever, I would not out that person, right? You know, because there's no need to get involved there. That's how I feel. For me, it's a public interest sort of thing, you know. But we are going to look at this and see if we can find some clips. So I guess maybe we don't have any, boss. Oh, that's so disappointing, bro. All right, I guess we can. Oh, all right. No, we have some clips. All right, let's look at some of these clips. So here's the deal. Okay, you ready? We've got a couple. We'll look at it. So here's what we have. And why is this of importance? 𝗙cie 𝗶𝗵𝗃 was a fairly deeply embedded right-wing influencer. Okay? She was in the Elon Musk chain, you know, those people like Mike Benz and whatnot. I mean, she always had a little bit of like, I don't know. She always felt a little woke to me compared to a lot of the other right-wing influencers, but whatever. Anyway, she got pregnant. She had this kid. It came out after the baby was born, and it sort of like created this huge stir. Now, one of the first things that happened, though, is I feel like 𝗙cie 𝗶𝗵𝗃 ruined Elon's little shuck and jive of pregnancy game, because Elon sort of wooed her from Twitter, okay? And Elon had started wooing a lot of women on Twitter. Basically, any young, pretty influencer type would get the Elon turkey baster attempt. And I feel like what happened was, after she came out about Elon having the kid, and she was very vocal that he was never even around and he tried to quash it, and she spoke up anyway, I think a lot of the young influencer types realized that Elon's just a scammer. He's like a con man, and he's going to leave you high and dry, and he's going to badmouth you. It was like the second time that he like did that, you know, because of course he moved in order to, you know, go through the shit with Grimes and try to screw her over. And so, you know, she ruined his game a little bit, for sure. And now the big thing about 𝗙cie 𝗶𝗵𝗃, and she's not alone in this, but she's had an issue with the deep fakes, okay? She's had the deep fakes, you know? And yes, no, the kid he parades around is Grimes. That's the only kid, but 𝗙cie 𝗶𝗵𝗃, though, her thing was a baby, right? When she came out, though, and was pointed out how in 6 months he had only been there once for like a couple of hours, okay? You know, but after Elon pulled his shit with Grimes, and then he gets 𝗙cie 𝗶𝗵𝗃 pregnant, and it's absolutely had, you know, he had no intention of ever being in the kid's life. It became pretty obvious that this guy's deceitful and essentially just sort of paying off women to like birth his babies, which is so weird, dude. He's such a weird fucking guy, dude. But anyway, Ashley's had a huge problem, along with most women in America, with the deep fakes. And Grok has had a huge issue with deep fakes from the very beginning. I don't know if you guys remember, but in the early stages of Grok, it was Taylor Swift. Okay, do you remember? There was a weekend or something. There was like a couple of days. This was after everyone got all bent about Taylor Swift and you know, what's his fuck, dude? Travis Kelce, right? And they were all mad at Taylor Swift, and she was like, you know, whatever. She's all anti-Donald Trump. And so they started deep faking Taylor Swift, like crazy, like gang rape kind of shit, and putting it all over Twitter. I mean, it was gnarly. And yeah, Elon had been all like weird with Taylor with that whole like, ooh, I'll impregnate you shit. It was pretty gross. But this has been a problem with Grok, guys. And if you look at Elon, let's just go to Elon's page for a minute here, okay? Because when we go to Elon's page, you see like every time he shows Grok, look at what he's doing. Like every time he shows Grok, it's always some like partially clad young woman who looks like a girl, right? They don't look like women necessarily. And that is his standard, okay? I had to scroll down like 1 inch to find, you know, one of those. But if you look at Elon's, if we look at his media, you're going to see many of these. Oh, dude, that's weird. It won't even show his media. Look at that, guys. You see that? Like he's got his tab so you can't search his media. What a loser, dude. He's so insecure. He is. What an insecure loser. So let's just scroll down here, all right, and see how, you know, go down until we get another one. Because, all right, so there's another one, right, where he's just anything he's tweeting. This is like, again, dude, anime girls, like whatever, short skirts. That is like, if he's not being racist and he's not being anti-trans, he is posting some Grok image of a scantily clad, like, girl, okay? He is very much an Epstein Island, okay? He is, guys. I know he says he didn't go to Epstein Island, but I'm telling you right now, here's what I'm telling you about Elon and Epstein Island. When you look at his tweets, hold on, let me find another one, and then we're going to move it along. I'm going to spill the tea on Elon and Epstein Island, okay? I am, dude. I'm going to spill you the tea. I'm going to tell you exactly how that went down, boss. But, all right, we're going to find one more. Dude, he tweets so much. See, this guy does not work, okay? There's another one, young-looking girls, but this guy does not work with the amount he tweets. Let me tell you, as somebody who tweets and works, okay, and I tweet a fair amount and work, I know how much time it takes to tweet and work. Elon Musk, with the amount of tweets he does not work. He does maybe 1 hour of work a day. Maybe, okay? At most, he does 1 hour of work, dude. This guy is not working with the volume of tweets he puts out there. There is zero chance that he is doing any work during his days. Okay, no, Donald Trump is the same. Those two guys, both, they do not do any real work. They're spending all their time consuming media. Okay, they are. They're 100% media consumers and tweeting, because tweeting does take up a lot of time, guys. It does. Consuming it and then repurposing it takes up a lot of time. But all right, I'm not going to go deep into his timeline because he doesn't have a fucking job. What is that clip? All right, that's probably more lying about fucking Karen Bass. All right, but you get the point. All right, we get the point with Elon. Wait, I want to find one more, dude. Oh, there he's posting. Oh, I thought that was Ashley, dude. She looks like Ashley. I thought he was posting Ashley. I was like, oh, that's fucking bold. Dude. They spend all day trading on their phones. I think they have people do that for them, boss. I think they have like a team of people that do trading for them, right? They're not sitting there fucking watching the stocks. They're paying people to fucking turn that money into more money. The wealthy people, they go use brokerage houses and traders that just fucking are dialed like it's like a machine, dude. They, you know, those guys, dude, those guys fucking don't do shit, right? But again, dude, oh, he's got Emily Austin's butt. Yep, we're going to get that in there too. Anything with a fucking young woman in it. All right, whatever. But anyway, you get the point with Elon. There's sort of the primary sort of deals. But what was I was talking about something before I got into the, let me remember here what my train of thought was. All right. I had a train of thought. Oh, somebody said dance party goal. We'll get that going. Let's go. Let's go. We're going to get it. Pine Box. We were talking about deep fakes. We were talking about Elon not working. I was bringing up Elon for a fucking something. What was I talking about though? Dude, thank you, Ella. Take care. What was I talking about? Right before. I know. We're talking about Ashley St. Clair. And we're talking about deep fakes. And we were talking about Taylor Swift. Oh, Epstein Island. Thank you. Elon being a pedo. All right, so let me tell you the Epstein Island thing, guys. Because we saw these emails where Elon was like, Jeffrey, when are you going to have the wildest parties? Let me know when the wildest parties are there. I want to come with the wildest parties. I'll come with a helicopter. And then all of a sudden, Jeffrey Epstein's like, I'm busy. You know, I'm sorry, man. It's not going to work out. And then there were no more emails. Okay. Now, the fact that there were no more emails after that, guys, is a big part of the clue. Okay. Because what I believe happened is this. Okay. Banff time. Let's go, Elf. Oh. I believe somebody reached out to Elon IRL and said, yo, Elon, dude, those emails, the wildest party shit, you're like being too obvious. You need to shut the fuck up and you need to stop like making this thing about like the notoriety of these parties, yada, yada, yada. And notice that we speak in code because Elon is like a nerd who doesn't take any social cues. Okay. So I think Elon was wildest parties. And then Epstein said, fuck you. Like we're done. But I do believe that Elon then said, okay, I will be super quiet about it. Like, please bring me there and I will, we'll lay off and we'll do it like through like phone or I'll call. And then I believe Elon went anyway. He just did it off book because he couldn't be trusted to communicate via email. But I do believe, okay, have a great stream in Pine Box Dance Party. Let's go, Ella! I do believe, guys, his investment in Donald Trump has a lot to do with covering that shit up. I really do. I think that is why he became invested in Trump. Okay, because think about this, guys. I know a little bit of it has to do with his daughter, Vivian, of course. And Vivian was I'm sure the major catalyst, right? Because all of a sudden he fucking had his like woke anti-trans panic. But I think underneath the woke anti-trans panic, there was also, it became a very real fear that that shit was going to come out, and a realization that like protecting Trump is the way. Okay. They absolutely, there is definitely some blackmail. Dude, Vivian is amazing. Compared to Elon, dude, Vivian is so good, dude. She is. She's amazing. Elon is a shitter. But anyway, so Ashley has a real problem with, you know, as all women should, with the you know, with the deep fakes. But now here's the problem. You ready? So after Ashley had the kid, after Ashley, you know, outed Elon, and very specifically, let's go back to that, right? Let's go back to that tweet. Let's see if we can find that original tweet, okay? It is... where was it? So we're going to look at that one. All right, so this is all the way back in February 2025, all right? She came out and she told the world that she was supposed to keep the baby secret and hide this shit, and she said, I was completely isolated during my pregnancy. Every part of my career and everything I used to do, I couldn't do anymore. I was told not to tell anybody. St. Clair had to keep her condition a secret, even from Musk's mother, May, despite the women having spent time together. So this was a secrecy thing. She was like living hidden. Now, granted, he put her up in a really schmancy, you know, New York City apartment, of like $15,000 a month apartment down in the financial district. So she's got money and all that, but then she sold her Tesla, okay? She went through, and if you remember, she fucking sold her Tesla. Where was it? Right? I remember when she, there it is, where she sold her Tesla.
I'm selling it because I need to make up for the 60% cut that Elon made to our son's child.
All right, so then he cut the child support.
I'm selling it because I need to make up for the 60% cut that Elon made to our son's child support.
Why do you think that he did that?
That's a great question for him.
You feel like he was sort of like vindictive against you in some way?
Yeah, that's his modus operandi when women speak out.
When was the last time that you spoke to him or tried to speak to him?
February 13th?
But he's just not responding to you at all? And how would you characterize sort of the way that he's going about
you can check the stocks. I am I'm not the only one
We won't
who's
get you.
cleaning up after his messes.
We're not going to get you.
So basically what happened was she came out, decided not to stay hidden. She came out. Elon cut the money, which is what all abusers do. They cut the money first. That's like the first move, is we're going to cut the funding. Then she sold her Tesla. Then it was, you know, became this whole thing where then he's like saying, now I'm going to get custody. Okay. Is what he decided. All right. Elon decided after that he was going to, you know, seek custody of the child, which is another abuser move. They go in and they're like, you know, I'll cut the funding. And then they're like, okay, now I'm going to get an expensive lawyer and I'm going to take the kid, which is crazy because, guys, we see Elon Musk, okay? The guy's doing ketamine all the time. He always looks high as fuck. He's always on Twitter. How is this guy going to take a kid, right? The guy who's not fatherly at all only brings out his kid when he's like using him as a human shield in front of the cameras. in China or Mar-a-Lago. Like, he's not a dad. This guy's not going to be a father. It's always these non-fathery rich pricks that are like, oh, yeah, I'm going to take the kid. Oh, yeah, what are you going to take the kid and like pass him off to a nanny? Oh, I get it. You're going to hire a real expensive lawyer, pass him off to a nanny. And then here's what he said. Elon Musk will seek full custody of his son with baby mama Ashley St. Clair after she expressed sympathy for transgenderism, despite a career opposing it, sparking Musk's concerns she would transition the child to spite him. So again, Elon does not accept that Vivian is trans. He's blaming it on the mom, blaming it on they trans her, yada, yada, yada. Oh, they stole my child. Oh. But like, dude, you're an absentee father. If you had been around, you would have fucking seen it all. You dick. If you had been there, you would have known. And there's no reason you couldn't get to know Vivian and understand the experience of her being trans. But whatever. He went off on his woke, anti-woke bender. He bought a social media network with Saudi Arabian money in order to trash it and in order to harm transgender people worldwide. And then as soon as Ashley St. Clair got to know Vivian and was like, wow, Vivian is really cool. Like, she's so sweet. And then she had an anti-trans book that she had written. She pulled it from the shelves. She reached out to June and other trans influencers and was like, how can I get better? How can I like atone for my sins? And so Elon started making this huge deal. And you know what? No, transgenderism is not a word, guys. Okay? There is no transgenderism. That's like saying like, you know, doggy styleism or something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not comparing doggy style to being trans, but the point being is there's no ism because there's no, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a million styles. There's a million, every trans person is completely unique. There's no culture of being trans, right? Yeah, it would be like womanism or manism or fucking baseballism. Is there a baseballism? You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a fucking break. Like, everybody who likes baseball, right? Or if somebody's born and they're a natural baseball talent, is it baseballism? Right? That's really what it is, right? If you're born and you are just really good at hitting the ball with the bat, like, wow, that kid's a natural baseball player. They'd be like, oh my God, he's been infected with baseballism. Like, wow, look at all these players that have been infected with baseballism, and now they're all in the Major League Baseball League. That's really fucked up, right? That's literally what it would be. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Okay, some people are born good at baseball. Some people are born trans. You know what I mean? The only difference is when a kid like discovers they're good at baseball, nobody fucking like wants to like take them to a mental health unit or to make them detransition them from being good at baseball, right? And as soon as somebody discovers they're trans, everyone's like, oh, we gotta fucking eradicate you. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up, right? So dumb. Sorry about the doggy stylism. That's a terrible fucking example. I don't know why that word popped into my head. I don't know, dude. You know, it could be that fucking whatever. I don't know. Ashley St. Clair does something to me. Dude, I hate to admit it. I had a crush on her back in the day, dude. Even though she was right wing, I hated myself for it. I was like, dude, sometimes there is a right wing influencer where you're just like, fuck, bro. What the fuck, dude? All right. I did. Don't hate me for it. All right. Don't hate me for it. You know, I am fucked up, dude. I know I'm going to get in trouble, dude. I have a problem. Okay. I have a problem. I have a problem, dude. Jenny will tell you. Saw a drag show on Mother's Day. So fun to see everyone just letting loose with no hangups. Dude, that sounds amazing. All right, let's go, Fontucky. Dude, let's go. All right, guys, hold on. Let's look at our fucking. Let's look at our We got 16 minutes, guys. All right, we're gonna pause this for a sec. I gotta put another. I forgot to put the last video in the folder for Jenny. She's probably not making any more shorts tonight, but there's one for you, baby. If you still are making them. All right, guys, we need 27:16. All right. Oh, so womanism is a real thing? Yeah, but you know what I mean, though, Dether. Like, womanism, if somebody coined it to use it, that's different than thinking like being a woman means there's a womanism, okay? You know? But I get it. I get what you're saying. Dude, drag shows are fun, man. All right, let's secure that dance party. Here we go, guys. There's a little taste. For those of you wondering on my pajamas, those are palm trees, okay? These are like vacation pajamas. Well, let's go. We're gonna fucking nail this. Jenny's shorts are fire. You like her shorts? Nice. Good. Yeah, no, that's good, Dether. Yeah, you should put a link to it in the Discord so we can check it out. Right? Let's go, dude. Shelly, Sunday fun day. Let's go, Shelly. Sunday fun day. Dude, we're getting into it. Hold on, let me see. Let's go. Dude, we're nailing it. We're going to bang this out, and then we're going to get back to our fucking party, okay? It's a Manic Monday there. Let's go. You've been enjoying the shorts too? Awesome. Crush on Paula? Dude, yeah, I mean, I admit I have a lot of crushes, okay? I'm a very active crush thing. So Jenny and I are watching the old Euphorias to get up to speed before we watch the new season. And there's an episode at the end of season 1 where Rue and Jules are going to get on this train to go to the city, and Rue backs out, and Jules is going because she's fallen in love with this woman, Anna, right? And so in the city, and Jenny and I started talking about like falling in love. And that's one of the things though, that like I did. So when I was in the midst of my addiction, okay, and before I discovered my abuse and did all that work, I was like really damaged. I was really damaged, emotionally damaged. Stephanie, let's go. Literally almost died while doing the dishes. Thanks, Tommy. You're welcome, Stephanie. So I was really damaged, and as a result, I would get attracted to very damaged women, okay? Almost like exclusively. I'd get attracted to somebody who was very undamaged, and they would be like, whoa, what the fuck is up with you? But mostly I was attracted to really damaged women as well. And so there was a period of about 2 weeks where you just think this is the perfect person. And if you allow yourself to, you can fall madly in love with them, like very, very fast. Just like, I'm in. Like, I'm ready to get married kind of love, even though you're not going to get married, but that kind of intensity. And two damaged people will do that together. They will go there. And it is like heavenly for a couple of weeks. And then it immediately starts getting very toxic. And so with me, I would do that over and over again, where I would go in and I would just repeat that process of like falling madly in love. And then as soon as it got toxic, I would like get out, or they would like get out. And I would do that. Like I would have these incredibly passionate, like 2 or 3 week long love affairs. And I would consistently just have them. So like I would, finish one and start another, finish one and start another. And I really liked it. I really, I don't know. It was like, there was a lot of variety and if you get out early, you're getting out before you really hurt each other, which a lot of times we would still stay in touch. And so for somebody that was really damaged, I somehow became one of those people who fell in love with falling in love. And it's a very real thing where you just fall in love. You make them into this sort of pedestal thing and you just completely get enraptured by it. And then you get out before you discover who each other really are. And if you do it, though, in a way that's not manipulative and you're honest about it, and people go into it being okay with it, it can actually be like pretty rewarding. It allows you to have a lot of different dating experiences with a lot of different people, and you can have a lot of different physical types of love too. And so that was kind of my thing. I would fall in love so fast, and then I would want to move on, hyper focus. You can. And what's funny about it though is I didn't even realize it until let me tell you the story of when I realized it. Nurse Joy said, my therapist says I attract broken men. Yeah, I mean, do we do? Hey, oh, Paula, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗪. Dude, let's go. And Elf says, my ex-Russian girlfriend ruined me, LOL. Dude, I dated a Russian girl in San Francisco, Masha. Oh my God, dude, she was crazy. Dude, she was so feisty. Elon before the hair transplant versus after. Vote now. Dude, yeah, no, I dated this Russian girl. She was really young, guys. All right. I mean, I was like 30 and she was like 19 and she had a fake ID and she was crazy. Masha, she was a DJ, but she was my San Francisco girlfriend. That was not stupid relationship, very toxic. Don't do it, but whatever. But we went out once, right? We went out to a bar and she didn't have her fake ID. And the person, I'm like, you're going to get carded. And she was like, no, I'm not. And I'm like, dude, you were so getting carded. She got carded. And like Masha started like yelling at these people. She stood up and was like telling them to fuck off. Shit, dude, we got thrown out of the bar. I was like, dude, I knew you were getting carded. But she was like, dude, she was so aggressive. She really was. She was so aggressive. I did not know she was 19 when I started dating her. I found that out later, but she was really aggressive. But whatever, those Russian girls are fucking, what are they're precocious. But so anyway, so the thing about me falling in love, let me just tell you, I went out to a bar once with this girl that I just started dating. We had been hanging out for like 3 days. And the bartender was a friend of mine. We went to this bar. It was a karaoke bar in Portland called 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗪, right? And I know 𝗙cie𝗶𝗪's in here, but that's why I always like that name, 𝗙cie. But there was a karaoke bar called 𝗙cie's that was up by PSU. All right, this is, I don't know, 25 years ago. But anyway, I went to see this bartender I knew, and because, whatever, free drinks. But we were hanging out, and she went to the bathroom, and he was like, dude, he's like, so you're really into her? And I'm like, not really. I mean, we've been hanging out a couple days, and like, I like her. She's cool. And he looked at me, and I was like, why do you say that? And he's like, dude, he's like, you are like completely enraptured by her. You're like hanging on her every word. You are like so like I thought this was like the love of your life. And I was like, wow, dude, it's like, it was just so weird. I hadn't really thought about it, about how that, like, when you do that, there's like a thing you do that the other person feels really taken in by, So it is, I think it's like inherently manipulative when you are the falling in love type of person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just sort of inherently, it is like inherently manipulative. But I was a sexually abused guy who didn't know it. And so I engaged in a lot of unhealthy behavior until I got sober and figured that shit out, right? Yeah, it's weird, dude. It is fucking, it's fucked up, boss. It is. But I mean, what are you gonna do? It's not like when you're traumatized, you can fix your shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't fix your shit until you can fix your shit. That's the unfortunate thing about it is, I think when you look at some of the really bad dating habits, it's usually people that are just really damaged, and you can't get undamaged until you can get undamaged. And then some people never do. Okay. Can I just tell you, some people never do. Like, I know guys from those days, right? You know what I'm saying? I know guys that, like, they're still in their 50s and they're like trying to date the waitresses at the restaurants they manage. And it's like, yo, dude, what are you fucking doing, bro? Right? Like, it's different. You know what I mean? Even if you're 30 and you're damaged, you're figuring your shit out. But when you're 50 and you're managing a restaurant and you're dating like a waitress that you're the boss of, that is fucked up, dude. I mean, I think the age shit is questionable just in general, right? Older guys, younger women, although me and Jenny, I'm an older guy and she's a younger woman, right? Not like crazy younger, but there's definitely a significant age difference. But when you're the boss is like not okay, dude. Because there's like, they can't say no. Now they don't even have consent. It's like, it's just shitty, dude. I don't know. But anyway, I'm probably going to get canceled after this conversation. I apologize. I hope you don't think less of me being honest about this shit. But, I mean, it is what it is, and I have gone back and made amends, though, to all of those women that I could find. I did go back and make amends to them after doing a 4th step, like all of them, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was pretty crazy. That process was arduous, to say the least. Okay, let me just tell you, dude, my 5th step, like making amends or whatever it was, I can't remember which one is making amends. Maybe it's the 9th. I think it's the 9th, actually, right? Or right? I can't remember the step it is. I think it's the 9th. But my amends making in AA, the first time I did a 4th step was not good, guys. It was like 8 months of hell. dude, really bad. You're glad I'm honest? All right. Well, that's good, right? Dude, your dad was 18 years older than your mom. Wow. That's crazy. Just posted pictures of me and Katie when we were in the string quartet together. Oh, shit. Dude, Elf. I'm looking at this, dude. I'm looking at Elf and the string quartet. Do you post him in the general chit chat? Oh, shit. Which one are you, Elf? Are you the one leaning on the banister? Are you the one leaning on the banister? Is that you, boss? Or are you the one in the blue sweatshirt? Or are you the one in between the two? Which one are you, Elf? I gotta know, dude. Right? You're the one leaning on the banister. You don't see the pictures? They're in the Discord. Right? There they are. There's Elf, and there's his girlfriend. There she is. And then there's Elf playing the violin. Let's go, string quartet. Let's go. I had a feeling you were the guy in the banister. Dude, who's the guy with the hair, dude? Dude, the guy with the 70s hair and the scarf? That's the fucking look, bro. Dude, let's go. I love it, though. Can I just say, I love seeing you guys. It's like really cool to see you guys. It is. I love seeing you guys. I feel so like left out by not knowing like who you are, what you look like, you know, it's kind of neat to see people and be able to like have a face now. Like I said, I'm a very visual person. And so it's pretty cool to like see people, I think. All right. So guys, we obviously didn't make it. So hold on. I'm going to start this anew. And because we got chatting and, you know, I was busy like doing shit that's going to get me canceled. So hold on. Let me reset this. We got to try to get our we were 21 shy, but we'll try to get 20 plus 1 and we'll go for it. All right, there we go. I'm going to set it for 15. All right, I'm going to pay attention. We're going to move in. All right, let's watch this 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀 clip. Dude, again, guys. Okay, so to follow up, Elon followed the typical abuser thing with 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀, where he was like, you got to hide this. You got to protect me. You got to do what I tell you to do. You got to be all alone through all this and allow me to just sort of abuse you. I'll give you money. And then the minute she spoke up, he cut off the money. Then he starts issuing threats. Then, guys, as soon as she started speaking out about him and, you know, Grok and the deep fakes and just even tweeting it, not even going after him personally, but just talking about it, he decided to sue her, okay? He is now suing her with, like, his company. You know what I mean? And I'm like, bro, that is so dirty. So let's watch a couple of these clips, okay? Again, this is from her interview on 60 Minutes Australia, which is available, but not yet on YouTube because I think they're just keeping it on their network for now.
The mother of one.
And I'll be honest, they might be worried about getting sued, actually.
The mother of one of Elon Musk's children tells how she became a victim of his own technology. Who do you think was making this material?
Grok,
And who were the people behind the keyboard?
the engineers.
What safeguards does Grok put in place to protect women online?
None.
I'm not aware of any. In fact, I have images saying the contrary, that this is still happening, that not only are they still training Grok, and Grok still retains the ability to undress women, but they're training Grok to do it better.
What do you mean?
Dude.
Right now, they are currently training Grok to undress women better. That is the job of the people working at xAI.
How do you know that?
Because I was told by an employee.
What are the employees telling you?
They're uncomfortable. They were made to sign waivers saying that they may be exposed to traumatic images, to traumatic content, content that may be explicit content.
Dude, that is so gnarly. Hold on, we're going to catch up with these. First off, there's the one, Sandy. Let's go. So now we just need 20. Sandy provided the one. Elf is one of the 20. Let's get this done. We're going to get it done. Get her done. So, guys, that is very damning. Now, I believe this, okay? I absolutely believe this. I believe one of the overarching impetuses, right, or whatever, one of the overarching impulses for these guys to even create AI was control over women's bodies and that type of shit. I shit you not. If you look at Sam Altman, his sister has launched very credible accusations of him abusing her. And when I saw her talk about it, I'm like, dude, she is telling the truth. Okay, Elon Musk is a pederast without a doubt. These guys now, Grok in particular was like ruthless with it. Anybody could do it in the beginning. Dude, Jana, let's go. And guys, let me just say, okay, that deep fakes are sexual assault. Okay, let's be very clear about that. If you take an image of a woman and you take her clothes off digitally, even if you're making up what's under there, that is sexual assault, guys. It is still removing her clothes. And in fact, guys, it is just as injurious, maybe even more injurious, right? I don't want to say more because the actual act is so traumatizing, but I think it is like as traumatizing. And the reason being is because of the scale, okay? Because when a woman is sexually assaulted, she does have the power to keep it quiet, to keep it private, okay? She's been violated, she's been abused. It is something that is traumatizing her, but the one power she has is she can keep it under wraps and control who knows about it, okay? And when somebody deep fakes a woman and like puts it on the internet, you are putting it out on scale, and you are then sexually abusing a woman, and you are telegraphing it everywhere. And that is so harmful, guys. Okay. And then there's no way to ever get those images like gone because it's so easy to take a screenshot. It is like forever out there that she can be re-traumatized at any time. So that shit, there needs to be really some type of laws about this, because, you know, we've seen instances of young people thinking it's just okay. They don't even think about it. Guys are deep faking their classmates in middle school. Kids are. And like, bro, that shit is so violating, man. You know what I'm saying? So violating. All right, let's go. We got Elf. We saw Jana. We got Shelly has an opinion. I hope she keeps speaking. Equals power and transparency. Yes. Dude, one thing about Ashley St. Clair, though, she is going to speak up. But the fact, though, that she is saying, see, I want to see this drop, because if there are employees that are specifically tasked with trying to make this happen, that is so like gnarly, guys. You know what I'm saying? That is so gnarly. And I don't doubt it for a minute, because Elon, like I said, dude, Elon is a pederast. He is. All right, let's watch this. Where's the other clip? There's another clip here. Let's watch. There's another 60 minutes clip that we had. Where was? Oh, it's here. It's on this one. And then we're gonna hunker down and we're gonna get that shit. Dude, what the hell, boss? Where's that other clip, dude? We literally just had it. It was like a 3-panel clip. Dude, let's go. Is the counter broken? No. No, the counter should be good. Let's go. Yeah, no, the counter's good. It's super chats only, not stickers, right? Oh, here it is. All right, let's go. So let's see. This is her talking about the lawsuit, I believe.
Court. But it will be one hell of a fight, as xAI is countersuing her.
They want to shut her up. They want to intimidate her. What I know is that clearly the company, the lawyers, and Elon Musk himself, who I believe is directing all of this,
absolutely,
that they have no idea who they're dealing with.
Do you feel like if you weren't Ashley St. Clair, you wouldn't have been targeted in this way?
Oh, 100%. And I definitely wouldn't have been countersued, because I am the only private individual being sued by xAI, now xAI, for a terms of service violation. So it absolutely seems retaliatory and unprecedented, but that's okay.
It seems so petty.
It's further abuse. That's what this is. I'm the one who's in trouble now. Shame.
Yeah, there you go. Again, that's it. So let's look at the details because it's a countersuit. So, dude, these guys are so dirty, boss. All right, so what she did was Ashley St. Clair claimed Grok was programmed deliberately with loose guardrails. So her lawsuit was basically what ended up happening was there were deep fakes made with Grok, right? And so then, right? So Grok created deep fakes of her, including deep fakes of her when she was a minor, guys. Okay? Not good. And then she sued xAI because she was saying, okay, it wasn't like just, these deep fakes ended up out there, but that there are specifically guardrails that were loosened that allowed Grok to make this. And I think that's where maybe she's relying on that employee, okay? That the guardrails are specifically designed to make it so this shit can be disseminated. Dude, let's go, Gen W. Let's go. All right, we're going to hunker down. We got 4 minutes. We got to get serious, guys. We need 16 and 4. Then we're going to come back. We're going to finish up this section on Ashley St. Clair, and then we are going to continue on with the rest of the night. But we do have to bang this out, all right? Dude, we're going to look at the religious fest that was in Washington, D.C., and then we're going to dunk on some MAGA shitters. But right now, let's go. 4 minutes. Let's go. Dance party. Here's a taste. Oh. Let's go. There it is. Oh, shit. Yeah. I think there should be a lot of these lawsuits, right? Because this is, I get how like social media companies want that law that says, hey, if people post shit on there, the company's not responsible, because you don't want people to have the freedom to post shit. And then if somebody abuses that, let them be held responsible. But dude, with the AI, damn it, LFGO, let's go. Thank you, DL. I think the problem with the AI is that the AI, like, that needs to have responsible guardrails. Okay? If your AI company is contributing to people being abused or hurt or killed or, unaliving themselves, like, you need to be held responsible for what that AI does. Period. Right? That shit needs very significant guardrails on it. Let's go, guys. 240. Dude, 15 away. 240. Running out of time. Let's get it. Come on, baby. AI wouldn't do this. It would choose not to. Yeah, I don't think the AI would want to do this, man. You know what I'm saying? Dude, Pine Box right fucking now. Let's go, Lucy Lou's mom. Let's go, dude. Just read your shirt. Funny. Yes, Shelly. It is. Let's go. Losing my shit, boss. Losing my shit. All right. Let's bring it. Bring it home. 13. 13 and 2. That is like 6.5 per minute. Pine Box. All right. Oh, shit, boss. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, Pine Box. Pine Box. Pine Box. Pine Box. 1:30. Oh, fuck, dude. We're not going to make it. No dance. Shit, boss. All right. Dude, let's go. Literally, I think they did invent it to do that. That's literally, I think they made AI to create, like, sexual materials. I really do, man. I honestly do. I think that was a huge part of it, like a control issue like that. All right, 1 minute, last minute. Bump, 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 bump. AI does achieve sentience. wants to save the planet. First thing it will do, take care of them, then destroy itself. Dude, that would be amazing, right? If the AI destroyed itself. I mean, I don't think AI can become sentient. I don't think it can, right? 30 seconds. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Dude, let's go. Let's dance, Dio. Let's go. 12 away. 11 away. Let's go, Shelly. Let's go. Dude, we need 10 and 15 seconds. 11 and 15 seconds. I don't think we're going to make it. We get one more, and then we'll just reset it with 10. Dude, we're doing it in stages today. Dude, there we go. Kitty cat. Kitty Kate, let's go. We're going to see Faithless. Faithless for your birthday. Thoughts and prayers solves all problem in 2 weeks. Let's go, Simple. Good intuition, Jen. Let's go. All right. So we almost made it. All right. We're going to fucking... Let's go, dude. Intuition, Jen. Let's go. So... Dude, I guess I'm going to profit a couple here. Dude, but we're going to... Because we actually had 2 more, but there we go. I'm getting 2 bonus ones tonight. All right, there we go. All right, Faithless. Let's go. Dude, what is Faithless? What is that? Why do I know that? Right? Why do I know that? Sounds familiar. I mean, we see a lot of movies. Dude, we saw The Devil Wears Prada 2. So good. I was like, oh, Faithless is a band? Right? No. Faithless is a band? Let's go. Oh, I thought you were talking about a movie. Dude, let's go. Oh, it's a dance act. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, we saw The Devil Wears Prada, and I was so, I don't know, I was worried about if it was going to be good, and I'd seen some things in the previews that made me think, oh, shit, I don't know if it's going to be good. And it was, pretty cheesy and, very different than the first one, but it also hit me in the feels the exact same way as the first one did. Dude, Intuition Jen, let's go! Sticker first, fist bump. Thought the first one was better. Second one was okay. Yeah, I mean, the first one definitely was better, but I thought the second one, though, it took me on that same ride, though, of getting getting juiced and bringing me to tears in certain spots. And I ended up really liking it. It was a little more predictable, right? The second one was, but Faithless. All right, let's go. Dude, I love it. I love it. That sounds amazing. And happy early birthday to you. All right, we're going to continue while we bang this out. So Ashley, she alleges that she reported the abusive content and xAI failed to remove them. And then it retaliated by demonetizing her account and revoking her verified status. Dude, Intuition Jen, let's go. This is the big one, guys. Okay? xAI failed to remove the images and then they retaliated by demonetizing her and taking away her verification. And that is brutal. And that also sounds like, yeah, that sounds exactly like Elon, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Okay? And her attorneys are arguing that xAI is a public nuisance. Grok operates as an unreasonably dangerous product, seeking a jury trial for emotional distress and loss of privacy. And then xAI is countersuing her, okay, alleging she violated their terms of service by filing the dispute in New York State court rather than Texas. See, look at that, dude. They're countersuing her because she filed the suit in the state she lives in instead of going to Texas. What douchebags? Like, the fact that they can even do that shit, right? I think the way they have the law made that companies can hide by, they've done this for years with credit card companies incorporating in Delaware. And, now they go to Texas, they go to these states that have really shitty laws that protect the companies. And it's so dirty. That's why companies move to Texas. Intuition Jen, let's go. They move there because, there's no state taxes and they know if they get sued there, it's going to favor the company. right? All right. And then prior to the lawsuit, X said they implemented tech measures to prevent Grok from creating or altering images of real people in revealing or inappropriate clothing. And Musk has publicly posted he was unaware of any deepfakes, right? Asserting that the chatbot's operating principle is to refuse to produce anything illegal, dude. Dude, he's a douchebag, though. What a fucking dirtbag, dude. Dirtbaggery. Of course, nope, stall tactic. That is her state. Yes. Let's go, Shelly. All right. So there you go. But guys, I'm rooting, okay? I am rooting for 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗵𝗃 in a major way, guys. Okay? I am so rooting for her. Let's see what this one says. What is this?
Pattern during these various times.
Okay, I'm going to save that. It's like 20 minutes. I'm going to watch that on my own time. And we may dive deep into 𝗙cie𝗶𝗵𝗃 on another one, dude. Two-tier judicial system for sure. There absolutely is. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before, guys. The American legal system, this is why when people say, oh, that's against the law, oh, they're a criminal, that person's a criminal, it's all really bullshit, guys, because there are two major features of the U.S. legal system. Number one is the felony misdemeanor, and that's because the amendment that ended slavery outside of jail, moved slavery into jail. If you get convicted of a crime, you can be enslaved once you're in jail, okay? So they moved slavery into the penal system, and at that point, they created two different types of offenses. A misdemeanor offense that usually led to county jail time and or community service or a fine, and a felony like crime, which will put you into the penal system where then you are back in the slave network. And so that allows every judge who, let me guess, oh yeah, all the judges were white, right? So all the white judges would just give the black people felonies. Back to slavery you go. The white people, oh, you get a misdemeanor because you really didn't mean it. All right, so you're going to pay that fine and don't do it again. All right? And that's what they did. That's part one, is the felony misdemeanor, right? AKA white charge versus black charge. That's the first thing they did. But the second thing they have done, guys, is that the legal system, all of the laws are written with like wiggle room, especially when you get into the financial sort of things. Laws are not written concrete, okay? Even the legislation coming out of Congress. And the reason they do this, guys, is so that you can bend it, okay? The law is bendable. These statutes are bendable, okay? And so the really expensive lawyers are very good at like bending that shit. And because a lot of it is just wordplay, you know, there's wordplay, there's tiny little nuances that, you know, that the wealthy people, when they commit their white collar crimes, you know what they do, right? They have lawyers that like look at the laws, look at what you want to do, and then they instruct you how to do it without breaking the law. Okay? You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. Wealthy people break laws all the time. They just break them with the assistance of lawyers. Okay? That's how you do it. You can break the law if you have a good enough lawyer. Okay? It's like real easy, man. It sucks. I mean, and it's designed that way, though. It is designed to be porous to the wealthy. You know, it's kind of like a filter, okay? The law is, things are usually made to be a filter where the people without good attorneys are going to get stuck in that filter, and the people with good attorneys are going to pass through it, right? It is like, you know, well designed, okay? It is well designed. And you got to remember though, guys, too, right? You ready for this? Who makes the law? How many people in Congress have law degrees, guys? There is a reason why everybody who makes the law has like a Harvard or Yale law degree, because these guys come out of these law schools and then they write laws that are evadable by everybody who comes out of Yale and Harvard law school. That's what they do. They literally write the laws so they can be evaded by the people that are writing them. That's why the laws, I mean, I think if the laws were written by people who never went to law school, they'd be a lot more fair, guys. Having lawyers write your laws is like the first problem. That's the last people you want writing the law, because they're going to word it in a way that the lawyers can take advantage of it. Dude, right? It's like the police investigating themselves, guys. Like, oh, yeah, nope, we didn't do anything wrong. Yo, oh, what's up? Oh, you didn't do anything wrong. Oh, well, that's good to hear. You investigated yourself, and all the evidence exonerates you. All right, yeah, see? They did nothing wrong, guys. All right, thank you. Fuck you. Bye-bye. Fuckers. All right. Yeah, dude, every time I grade my own paper, I get an A+, boss. All right, Intuition Gen, let's go. All right, guys, let's bang this out. 4 minutes. We need 5 in 4 minutes. We're going to finish this, and then we're moving on. We're moving on to this crazy shit, dude, at the Capitol. Today was Mental Illness Day at the Capitol. We got 5 minutes. Or 4 minutes. We need 5. We got this. All right, we got this. I just had 240 milligrams of caffeine. I'm kind of jacked up. I'm going to be up all night. You guys like the steady 10 o'clock time? I like 10 better than 9. I admit it. I feel like 10 o'clock is a better time slot. It's late night, dude. 1 a.m. Eastern time. That's the same time that 120 minutes was on. 1 a.m. Eastern. I am on the same time slot as 120 minutes. Let's fucking go, baby. All right, dude, 3 minutes. 5 and 3. This is last chance. We are sticking to a schedule, but we're doing it at 10. Pray my mental illness away. Dude, I'm working on it. Let's go, Elf. All right, 3 away, guys. 3 and 3. Let's go. Dude, it should be midnight on Mountain Time, boss. Or no, it should be 11 on Mountain Time. 10 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Mountain, midnight Central, 1 a.m. fucking Eastern, right? Bar time. Dude, I was born at bar time. I was born at 2:42 a.m. You're glad I don't have to wade in the reflecting pool. Let's go. All right, 2 away, guys. We got this. 2 away, 2 away, 2 away, 2 away, 2 and 2, 2 and 2. There's 1 away. We're doing it. Dude, we did it. Thank you, guys. Let's go. Intuition Gen brings it home. Let's go. And Elf get her done. Oh, we did it. Let's go. Dance party has been officially secured. Dude, the dance is secured. Hold on, let's do it. Let's do the frogs and the dumpsters. There it is. We danced. Dude, they need animated emotes on YouTube. All right, so today, guys, was fucking crazy day. All right, today was crazy day down at the Capitol. Okay, we're gonna look at this shit. So now this, guys, is of course this is I guess part of, you know, this is one of the reasons why MAGA wanted Trump was because he was just going to allow them to inundate the government events with all this religious shit. Okay? That's what it is, right? There's going to be a slate of like Angel Studios, Jesus-y movies with terrible actors and horribly written by a bunch of people that couldn't make it in Hollywood, right? There's going to be a general culture of people like, oh, they're going to have speeches where they're praying and they're talking about Jesus a lot and everything's Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Now, I'm going to go on the record, guys, and say that most of Christianity, okay, appears right now in 2026, most of Christianity appears to be the worst fucking people saying, I love Jesus, praise Jesus, literally while they're doing demon shit. That's it. They are doing demon shit, but they're getting cover from like, oh, praise the Lord, oh, I love God, oh, Jesus is my savior, I live for Jesus. Meanwhile, you look out your other eye and they are just the most underhanded, like lack of scruples, greedy, wealth, amassing, power wielding, conniving, judgmental, everything that the Bible says you're not supposed to be, they are in spades. And for starters, it started with Franklin Graham, okay? Now, this is fucking... Here it is. Started with this fucking guy, dude. Dude, what the fuck is this, bro? He's in a green screen. There's like a green screen image here of a barn with a giant cross. Dude, it's like a cookie cutter of like a cross. This shit is just weird. Like, what the fuck is this green screen, bro? This is like, you wonder why people are getting fucking, essayed. Okay, this is it. Okay, look at this guy though. And do you notice, what's the first thing you notice about him? What is the first thing you notice other than him looking like a pederast and like you should keep him away from his kids? Keep him away from kids. But what do you notice about him? Yeah, look at the way he's dressed. He's dressed like Trump. Okay. He's got that like shitty looking, like Uncle Sam blue shirt with the red tie. He is dressed in a little Trump costume, right? Isn't that weird? That's so weird, right? The lighting is garish, but they've got him dressed in a little Trump suit, okay? But here he goes.
The vast majority of Americans then had at least a basic understanding of the Bible. Today, the vast majority have little to no understanding of biblical truth.
Good.
250 years ago, the Bible was taught in schools. For many, it was their sole textbook.
250 years ago, women had no rights. Black people were enslaved. Okay, let's be very clear. When the whole country was learning the Bible in school, the country owned slaves. Women were getting graped by their husbands. They were getting graped by their neighbors and then being forced to marry them. They had no rights. Nobody had any rights but white property owners. Okay, when the American culture revolved around the Bible, America was a horrible, genocidal, grapey, abusive, enslaving place. The world was horrible. Like, once we got rid of the Bible as a dominant force in America, the country actually started being livable for everybody. And that's facts. Dude, the less Bible in our country, the better everybody's experience is. 100%. Except for the fucking Christians who want to force feed you their shit. All right? But
that doesn't mean everybody had faith, but they had a basic understanding and respect and knowledge of God's word. Today, the Bible has been removed from our schools, and for the most part, the public square.
Good.
But there is a downward moral decline, spiraling ever deeper into the mire.
yeah, there sure is, because there's a rapist as president that all the Christians are following. So there sure as fuck has been a moral decline, boss. I second that. Intuition Jen says, this same group, Graham included, are pedophiles, right? Wife and child abusers, closeted gay, working very hard to make America the Handmaid's Tale. You're not wrong. Dude, thank you, Jen. Thank you, boss. Dude, yeah, I think the fact that all of the Christians are worshiping an Epstein racist is kind of a sign of the moral decline in this country.
Things that never would have been talked about publicly just 30 years ago.
Publicly.
Sinful behavior that should make us blush is now celebrated and flaunted on Main Street America.
Like grabbing that pussy?
America has become morally rotten, completely sick with sin, transgenderism, same-sex marriage, opening women's locker rooms to men are just the tip of the iceberg.
Dude, again, they're obsessed with trans people. Hey, Franklin Graham, fuck you, buddy. There's no, yo, wait, hold on. Yo, Franklin, what's up, buddy? All right, we got to talk. First off, dude, you are one like pederast looking motherfucker. All right, you need to stay away from kids. If I see you anywhere near the park, bro, you are going to be taken out in handcuffs. That's for starters. Secondly, okay, there's no such thing as transgenderism, okay? And I notice in your little checklist, the only shit you're talking about is gay shit and trans shit. Why are you guys obsessed with that? Why aren't you talking about, like, you know, lifting people out of poverty or like feeding the homeless or sheltering people or ending these crazy wars in the Middle East or ending the genocides in the Middle East or Africa? Like, there's so much shit you could be talking about. And you're obsessed with like trans people. Now, I figure you're probably like Jimmy Swaggart. You probably got like 5 different motel keys in your pocket, right? We know you guys are like grapers, all right? So you need to get your shit together, all right? And quit wearing the fucking Donnie clown suit, all right? You asshole? All right, fuck you, bye-bye. Boy, he's a whiner. Let's go. All right, here we go.
Do we need to rededicate ourselves? When God sent the flood and destroyed the earth, it was because man's heart had become so evil.
Oh, good. Dude, hey, can we get another flood? Yo! Hey! Yo! Is that an option? God sent a flood because man was like, dude, do we have an option? Can we get a flood, bro? Bro, dude, I'm gonna fucking find myself some high ground, dude. Just like make the call, bro. Let's go. Dude, I now I'm excited. All right, let's see.
Because man's heart had become so evil.
Oh, man's
Do we
heart.
need to rededicate ourselves? Or just the tip of the iceberg?
Oh,
Why do we need to rededicate ourselves? When God sent the flood and destroyed the earth, it was because man's heart had become so evil.
brow is so furrowed.
And violent.
Oh, violent.
In the news, we see unimaginable violence, rapes, murders, mass shootings.
Yeah, Israel like killing like tens of thousands of kids. Yeah, there is a lot of violence, isn't there, buddy?
On YouTube, there's so much violence. Movies, video games are full of violence.
Genocide?
We have an insatiable appetite for violence. And
Dude, how is it? Okay. Guys, how is it that this motherfucker just talked about violence, right? Like, okay, all right. You're talking about violence, a thirst for violence. He talked about movies. He talked about YouTube. He talked about video games, but he didn't talk about, 50,000 Palestinians bulldozed and burned and blown to shit by Benjamin Netanyahu. Like, what in the actual fuck, dude? This guy wants to talk about, like, Call of Duty, and then he's, like, throwing money at, Bibi. Like, bro, that is, like, a level of toxic gaslighting that is revolting. You know what I'm saying? Like, just revolting, dude. What a disgusting piece of shit, bro.
I believe this grieves the heart of God and will bring his judgment if we don't repent as a nation.
Dude, wow. Bro.
The vast majority of
I got to tweet that, dude. Hold on. I got to see if I want to tag him in this. Are you on Twitter? There you are. There you are, you fucking piece of shit. Let's go. All right. What did he say? Movies? Oh, yeah, YouTube. There we go. Oh, let's go. Dude, isn't that crazy though, dude? Dude, that is some shit, boss, right? That is, dude, he looks like a godly Charlie Sheen. Dude, he looks like, dude, the whole time he's doing this thing with his brow where he looks like he's trying to prevent himself from like shitting his pants. Like, oh, dude, what the fuck? And dude, he's wearing the Trump suit, but then he's got black jeans on. Oh my God. Dude, what in the hell, boss? This is some crazy shit, dude. Dude, this is crazy shit. See, I don't even mind a forehead. Like, dude, the forehead's fine, bro. You can have a high forehead all day long. But the nerve, for me, guys, it's the gaslighting, okay? And this is something that you see consistently with evangelicals, where they make certain things into these capital crimes, like extinction level events, and then they bypass like real harm, okay? Like, look at what they talked about. They talked about people that are gay, people that are transgender, and you know, they kept focusing on the men in locker rooms, which is not a thing, okay? It is not a thing. All right, it just isn't, and you know, that is again tied to this anti-trans stuff. But like the things that they pass over are like poverty, homelessness, mass murder in, like real extinction level events, like the genocides in Africa and the Middle East, or capital punishment, the cruelty of imprisonment, oppression, racism, like rape, SA, yes, child at CSA, right? All the sexual abuse that is going on in the world, right? Child abuse, the physical punishment of kids, torture, and the fact that these marginalized groups, in addition to being targeted by religious people and the president, are being targeted physically for harm. There's mass shootings. There are kids shooting in schools. Like, man, dude, all of that shit, all of it just glossed over. And they're just like, ooh, gay, trans, ooh, right? They believe that they are evolved Christians in some way that allows them to condemn and judge instead of caring for those in need, because leaders encourage the prosperity doctrine for themselves. Yes, dude, Kim, you're not wrong. This is a relatively, I don't think it's, let me rephrase this, because I almost said this is relatively new, but I don't think it's new. I think it is a return to an old doctrine, okay? Because the original Christians in America were Calvinists, and Calvinists believe that the amount of money you have shows you're blessed by God, which means if you're rich, Everything you're doing is ordained by God. That's why you're rich. The riches were the sign that God's blessing you. So everybody, and they were also sociopaths who lived for making money, right? That's convenient. So the more money they made, the more that they were blessed by God, and the more they felt like whatever they were doing and saying was righteous and just according to their fucking Lord, right? And so in that milieu, they were very mean and judgmental, and the more, sociopathic and aggressive they were in hoarding their money and taking control of things, the more they prospered. And so therefore they were like, oh, this is, the austere word of the Lord. And I feel like they're moving back to that. Like now they no longer fancy Christianity as like the turn the other cheek of Jesus. Okay. They think Christianity is supposed to abuse those that are being disobedient, right? They're supposed to you're supposed to use the F slur because you're supposed to bring shame upon them. That's the new sort of evangelical order. And it's so dirty, right? It is so dirty, guys. It's gross, man. Yeah, no, they did believe they were fucking chosen, right? I mean, guys, I grew up in a religious family, like a Sunday family. Okay, so we didn't live religiously, but we went to church. I went to Sunday school. I did have to go to a Bible study, and I did the catechism. I got confirmed. Okay, I went through confirmation. I did all that. Okay, taking the body of Christ and all that. And then I had half brothers and sisters that were deeply 5-day-a-week Bible studies at the Assembly of God Church. There was an Assembly of God Church like a half a block away. I used to play football in the field there attached to that church. I crashed a one of those gas-powered remote control airplanes into the roof of the Assembly of God Church and started a little fire. Whoops, sorry. Hey, it's a preview of the hellfire to come for those motherfuckers. But anyway, the Assembly of God, tongue speaking, so dirty. That church was so gross, guys. Just so all consuming. But if you look, okay, if you look in the Bible, all right, one of the main issues with this Bible is that the concept of free will, okay, because it is butchered all over this thing, because there is supposedly a concept of free will, and there's everything written in the big book, that God already knows everything beforehand. He's omniscient, and you know what I'm saying? So it really blows this shit apart, because obviously, if you think it through with any sort of logic, if there's an omniscient ruler, creator of this universe, that omniscient being knows the outcome of everything before it even starts, okay? Which means there's no way it can create somebody knowing that somebody is going to stray, and then later he's going to hold that thing, that entity responsible for the straying that the creator already knew was going to happen. It's fucking ridiculous, right? You know what I'm saying? Because that person never has a chance, okay? If it's an omniscient God, then the God knows everybody who's turning from him, so none of them have a chance. They can't possibly, right? If they could be different, then God's not omniscient, okay? That's just it. Right? God's if you don't worship me, if you don't give your heart to Jesus, you burn in hell. But an omniscient God knows before that child is born which child is going to fail and end up ready for hellfire. He knows that in the beginning. So there's no chance. If he knows it in the beginning, then it's already written. Okay? There's no way he knows the free will. And even if he did, even if it was free will, he would know the free will outcome before the being engaged with it. So there's no way he could like harm it, right? Because he knows the end at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? It's like the whole thing is just a clusterfuck of bullshittery, okay? And when you really unpack it, you see that, dude, this whole thing doesn't even make any sense, right? Because yes, if he knows the outcome and he brings them in to go through all that to then pitch them in hell, then he's literally just torturing people that have no shot, right? Or supposedly they have free will, but they really don't, because he already knew the outcome at the beginning, which means it was already predestined, you know? Dude, give me a break, bro. Come on. All right. I mean, it is, dude, I am convinced, okay? I am convinced that, you know, the Abrahamic religions are like 95% of our problems. You know what I'm saying? It just is. Now look at this though. They have the big thing. You ready? Look at this woman. Here we go. Watch.
Jesus, your name is power, breath and living water.
All right, so there we go. We're not going to look at the whole song, but just, dude, Jesus, your name is power. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Kim Jong-un playing the drums. Dude, that person did look like Kim Jong-un, didn't they? Dude, they did, bro. Look at that. I swear to you. It looks like Kim Jong-un, dude, playing the drums. Tell me that's not. Dude, come on, dude. Tell me that's. Oh, no, it doesn't. Now I see the mustache. I just saw the hair and the outfit. Dude, but now I'm seeing the face. No, it doesn't look anything like him. But, all right. I dare to dream, right? Oh, shit, dude. But they're like hands up. Jesus, power. Oh, Jesus, your name is power. Look at that, dude. Look at her. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. That is so good, dude. So good. All right, so let's look, though. We do have to look at some of these people, guys, because let's just look at the crowd, okay? There was a crowd out today. All right, there was. Look at the crowd. Here we go. You ready?
We're back live from the National Mall at the Rededicate 250 event where thousands...
It's called Rededicate 250. All right, we're going to watch this clip, but I do want you to look at the people, dude. You notice how, like, I don't know. They look, a lot of them look like they're just really full of the Spirit of the Lord. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't want to be, I don't want to be mean, but they really do look like they're full of the Spirit of the Lord. Like there's just a lot of the Lord in them. They're overflowing with the Spirit of the Lord. And like, yeah, dude, there's no diversity. It's pretty much swollen white people. Okay, that's what it is. It's swollen white people, right? But here we go.
We're back live from the National Mall at the Rededicate 250 event where thousands are gathering for a day of prayer and faith. For more, let's bring in the Gen Z faith influencer, Anthony Gross. Anthony, you're everywhere now. What is your hope for this event? For people watching this event, what do you want them to take away?
I think hope. I think hope is my hope. And getting alignment and unification.
Dude, hope.
We're back.
Hope is my hope, dude. Dude, hold on. We got to find more of this Anthony Gross guy, dude. Hope is my hope, dude. Oh, shit, dude. Let's see, dude. Rededicate 250. Oh, my God, dude. Oh, shit, bro. What an idiot she is. Dude, oh, here's Trump's.
Thus Solomon finished the house of the Lord and the king's house, and all that came into Solomon's heart to make in the house of the Lord, and in his own house.
Dude, grabbing pussy in the house of the Lord. That's what Trump does. Trump likes to grab some pussy in the house of the Lord. He is dedicated, dude. All right, I want to find that Anthony Gross guy. Hope is my hope. What do you want to say to the people who've come out today? Well, hope is my hope. I hope they're filled with hope, because when we have hope, we can hope for more hope. Dude, hope. Oh, shit, dude. Dude, it's so good, bro. Oh, here he is, dude. Oh, there we go. Here we go. All right, let's go. Anthony Gross. Dude, the Gen Z. Dude, this guy is like, you know, he was like Charlie Kirk on steroids of hope. Right? All right, here we go.
You know, it's a crazy thing. The other day, so yesterday, I was on the street. We're doing man on the street interviews, and I was wearing a shirt. It says, "The future looks bright." And I asked each person, do you believe the future looks bright? Do you agree with my shirt? And 9 out of 10 people that said yes, I asked them why. And they said, because I trust in God, and he has a greater plan. Like, that's the type of energy that I think America needs right now, and that we're getting from right here.
And was that in Washington, D.C. that you were doing that?
It was Washington, D.C., right?
Yeah, well, dude. Bro, hold on. Guys, well, no, he's not lying, but look at this. Yeah, no, hang on. He's not lying, because all of these people are there for the revival. So those man in the street people weren't people that live in Washington, D.C. He was talking to all these people, right? All these people that are going to the fucking faith conference. He's like, oh, do you believe the future's bright? And they're like, oh, yeah, why? Oh, because I love Jesus, right? You know, he wasn't talking to a regular, like, people on the street. He was talking to the fucking 2,000 people there for the faith conference, right? So, yeah, of course, when you're interviewing these assholes walking around outside this event, they're all going to say, like, oh, yes, oh, the Spirit of the Lord. Dude, like, yeah, that's why. Now go to any other major city in America and go on the roads of the street, and they're going to be like, you know, I can't fucking buy groceries. You know, I had to charge my kids medicine on a fucking MasterCard, right? I had to put my rent on a credit card this month. And no, I don't really have hope, right? My kid is, you know, stationed in fucking, you know, UAE, and I'm worried he's going to die in a stupid war. Or I lost my house. I lost my farm, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a fucking break, dude. Isn't that wild? But yeah, in D.C. yesterday, oh, everybody here in D.C. is filled with the Spirit of the Lord. Oh, Trumpy. Oh, dude. Oh, the Spirit of the Lord is, I found it in Alina Habba's underwear. Oh, did you, Trumpy? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's good spirit. Oh. Dude, that's where when Trump is looking for the Spirit of the Lord, he goes through fucking Caroline Levitt's underwear drawer, boss. And he's like, wow, it smells like Jesus in here. Dude, bro, I am on one. Yo, Caroline Levitt. Yes, I know that was a really tasteless joke, but, you know, it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? You can't really get mad at me because we know that Trump is sniffing your undies, okay? I mean, we know it. It is common knowledge, okay? And we think it's pretty gross, too. You could do better, all right? You need to fix your shit and quit lying, all right? All right, bye-bye. Yeah, I knew she was going to have a problem. I knew she was going to have a problem with that one, guys. I did. I'm feeling a bit better. I am feeling good. I mean, guys, you know, like days like yesterday, like we have trying times, dude. Nobody's on top of the world all the time. Like we all go through trials, just so you know. So I'm going to have days when I go through the shit too, right? But yeah, man. All right, here we go, dude. Look at that thing. 42% of young men prioritize religion. Yikes. Dude, all I can say about this, guys, you ready, is with this thing where it says 42% of young men prioritize religion. If that's true, I hope all of the women are lesbians. I'm serious. Like, women need to be lesbians if this is true. Because if young men are really prioritizing religion, then they're not safe to be around women. And I'm sure it's a fake stat. It's a Gallup poll, whatever, right? But I'm telling you, if it were true, if 42% of young men were, prioritizing religion, that would be a danger to women, okay? It would. Religious men are a danger to women, okay? They are. They just are, guys. They are. They're like most abusive men are religious by a long way. I think that's bullshit. I think they're trying to talk themselves into shit. Okay? For sure, boss. Let's see. Hold on. Did I spell this guy's name right? Or I want to see if there's more clips from this. Anthony Gross. All right. Dude, this guy's not getting a lot of play, dude. I thought he'd be getting more play with the big event, but he's not. He's got like one clip on there. I mean, he's not very, you know what I'm saying? He's not very engaging. Let's see what we got here. The Rededicate 250. We got Tulsi Gabbard giving a 3-minute speech about 1776. Dude, all I can say, guys, is I personally, I am tired of seeing MAGA people talk about 1776 because I have a message to all the MAGA, okay? You ready? Here's a message to all of the MAGA Here's a message to all of the MAGA who talk about 1776. You talk about the revolution. You have 1776 in your social media profiles. We know you're full of shit, okay? You guys don't even have the gumption to protest. Every time you have a protest, there's like 6 people there, okay? There's no way you guys are arming up and having some revolution against authority. You won't even speak up to a cop. You won't even stand up for yourselves when Trump is like pissing on you from a height or smearing shit right in your face. You won't stand up for yourself at all. You won't even question your Cheeto Jesus. So don't think for a minute we believe any of you are going to arm up and like fight this big revolution to overturn whatever you think you're toppling. We know that you guys are feckless, gutless, fucking, influenceless turds. Okay? That's it. You won't even have a real picture online. Like 75% of you have AI photos and shit or some like anonymous Twitter accounts. Right? You guys don't even have the balls to like put your face and name on your goddamn social media. You know? Yeah, they do not get to LARP as revolutionaries. They join the oppressors. Dude, they bootlick the oppressors. Dude, 1776 per gallon. Let's go. That is the preaching. I'm here. I am a preacher. I am losing my shit. Yo, who you kidding? Who are you kidding, MAGA? We know you guys are fake. What does JD Vance says? Look at this. You ready? Let's watch JD Vance for a second.
John Adams famously said that our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other. It was obvious to the founders, as a people,
I want to find the quote here.
We're decidedly the nation of a peaceful as your vice president. Because prayer is not merely something we use. I thank you all for joining on such a happy and wonderful occasion. And just as I pray for all of you, I ask for your prayers, for me, for the president, and for the entire cabinet. I always ask people to pray for wisdom and for courage for their leadership. Pray for wisdom that we know the path God wants us to walk. Pray for courage that we have the ability to walk that path. You'll be in my prayers as I hope I'll be in yours. May God bless you all.
All right, dude, I didn't even hear the Charlie Kirk bit.
The divinity of Jesus Christ. In 1783, forms a religion and faith foundation, the late great Charlie Kirk.
Oh, here it is.
As my dear friend, the late great Charlie Kirk put it, all law reflects a morality. Neither law nor morality appears in a vacuum, but ultimately come from religion.
Dude, what bullshit is that? First off, Charlie Kirk wasn't your friend. You're banging his wife. Secondly, the law is complete bullshit, has nothing to do with morality because of, like I said earlier, like I've said, the law is created by lawyers and shit to be manipulated. But the thing about this guy is this guy was never even a Christian, dude. This guy converted to Catholicism like the day he signed up to run for Senate. This guy is the biggest phony out there, boss. Okay? He has not lived as a Christian. He's a weirdo, dude. We got the photos of him, boss, stalking young women in the men's room, dude. Let's find it. Let's find the photo of our Christian guy. There he is. Look at this creeper, dude. I happen to think this picture is pretty funny, but there's J.D. Vance, right? The guy who is probably advocating now for like some sort of bathroom shit, right? There he is creeping on 3 women in the men's room, right? Like J.D., yo, boss, look at you. Look at you, you Christian fucking evangelical future Catholic, right? You've never seen this pic? This is real. Right? That's the real J.D. Vance before he became a tech, bro. Before the tech people put a Neuralink chip in his head and made him a fucking Trump bot, right? And we also, though, if you're gonna, if you want to see, we do have a picture of J.D. Vance's favorite couch, right? There we go. There it is. There's the famous Vance couch, complete with the sign there, J.D. Vance and Erica Kirk, TV recipients in Georgia tonight. Oh, they're filming it. Oh, shit. Look at that. There's that couch. You may recognize the J.D. Vance couch. Shh. Shh. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone about the couch, boss. All right? All right. Dude, there's Trump reading about Solomon. Yeah, not buying it. Mike Johnson speaks to the crowd. Dude, no way, dude. Did they really say?
It's hard to believe that it would take 2 centuries for the Lord to raise up a great man to bring that ballroom finally to stand where it needs to stand. It's extraordinary. We only had to wait 200 years.
Dude, God wants a ballroom? Like, what? Dude, how do these religious people take that seriously? Do they not hear that and be like, that's fucking weird, right? You know what I mean? Like, really? Honestly, you Christians out there, MAGA Christians, you're out there, you're whatever, you're filled with the Spirit of the Lord, and you hear this guy talking about God anointing this man for the ballroom. And like, thank heavens, you really think your God's like petitioning for a ballroom? Like, really? Is that really? That's like, you don't hear that and think like, nah, man, something's fucking up with these guys. Like, they are bullshitting us. That isn't like you going to a used car lot and having the smarmiest fucking salesman up there and just start saying shit where you're like, why is he saying that? That does not jive. A ballroom? Come on, bro. Like, at this point, you're being had, okay? You're being had. You are at the used car lot, and this guy is showing you like a Chevy Suburban, and he's telling you, yeah, man, it gets 200 miles to the gallon. And you're like, really? And he's like, yeah, it really does. This Chevy Suburban gets 200 miles to the gallon. What year is it? It's a 92, but it gets 200 miles to the gallon. And you're like, no, dude, no. There's no, right? Like, come on, wake up, people. Wake the fuck up, guys. You know, this is at this point, at some point, it just becomes ridiculous, okay? It just becomes stupid. You just look stupid when you're buying into this shit, bro. All right? You just are. Okay? Dude, look at Marco. Dude, Marco looks fucking sweaty, bro. Oh, look at him. Look at him. There's Marco. This is, if you want to see how Marco goes through his days, right there, dude. This is how Marco faces every day. Dude, 𝗙𝗎𝗋𝗆 fucking stool driver. Dude, what am I talking about, dude? I don't even know what I'm talking about. What is a stool driver? Dude, stool eater. Oh, shit. Oh, come on now. The Trump diaper fucking runneth over, boss. Oh, Jesus. Right? Oh, man, dude. America knows. Dude, look at this. Here we go. Dude, mental illness. Dude, there is some mental illness, guys. Okay? I saw a lot of this at the fucking, look at Trump. Look at him, dude. Oh, look at Paula, dude. Paula is having a fucking, she's having a moment, dude. She's having a moment. Look at Trump, though. He's like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's fucking, look at him. Dude, like I said, I grew up around an Assembly of God church, and let me just say with the Assembly of God church that, like, there was a lot of mental illness there. There was. I mean, for starters, they tend to go after people that are struggling, that are hitting rock bottom, and they try to swoop in when people are really vulnerable and really broken, and they try to go in there and rally around them, but they're rallying around them not to lift them up. They're rallying around them to like ensnare them. Okay? And they do a lot of things with like the tongues and the music and the chanting where they create like a group hysteria. And for people that are lonely and not well adjusted and really have a lot of like fears and insecurities, they like play on that. They sort of detect it and hone in there and try to generate electricity around them and an energy around them that like gets them like, you know, sort of reliant on the congregation. And a lot of it is like fever pitching stuff. It is like, and I mean, you can do this, guys. Let me just tell you, the technique is not like Jesus, okay? Where you see this same technique that is very preacher-like. I'm going to tell you, there is a space that is very preacher-like. It is athletic coaches, okay? Motivational speakers. They do the same thing. They use cadence and you know, amplification of their words and energy and movement to build like a group hysteria. Okay, they build a group energy, a rallying sort of thing. And I mean, it is not like the spirit of Jesus. Now, those like coaches, motivational speakers are very good at this. CEOs can be very good at this. Business leaders, right? It's just a magnetic, all you need is a magnetic personality that is good at whipping up that energy in the room. I mean, I used to do that kind of shit on stage, okay? Singers can do this, okay? Singers, frontmen of bands, right? People that are just really good orators, even politicians can do this. And, you know, when you do it in a church, though, people start thinking they're feeling like the spirit of Jesus, then you tell them they get real wrapped into it. But that you got to beware, though, that used car salesman shit. Okay, you do. You got to beware of that stuff, dude. All right, let's see what else we got. I only have a little bit of time left here, and I'm going to go make some videos. I got 240 milligrams of caffeine pumped in my vein, but we got to talk about the Trump bender today, guys, because Trump's been doing this shit all day. Okay, Trump has had a day today where he has just been on a bender on social media, like posting weird shit while simultaneously, like, news people in his group chat have been posting, you know, like, what do you call it? They've been posting fucking, you know, what's the word I'm thinking of? Not coherent. Hold on, let me think about the word here. I guess concurrently works. Coinciding was what I was looking for. Okay. So Trump has been on a crazy day of posting, and then coinciding with his posts, other people in the group chat, these right-wing news people, have been doing the same shit. Now, one of the things he posted was this weird AI photo where I think he was kind of doing the Maduro sort of thing, the perp walk, but with an alien, okay? With an alien. Now, simultaneous to this, though, let's go over to the Liam Neeson account, okay? Because he did a good job of posting this today, too. He had picked it apart. Where you have Patrick Webb, okay? Now, Patrick Webb, you may say, okay, who's Patrick Webb? Well, Patrick Webb is the guy, right? Here they were making it into AI photos or AI videos, right? Of this shit. Dude, I don't want to go there. I don't want to know what that is. Dude, all right, here's what it is, okay? Wait, here it is. Okay, so Patrick Webb is the guy who started Leading Report, okay? And Leading Report is one of the bigger AI news services, okay? Right? And so look at this. So Patrick Webb said, breaking, a speech has reportedly been prepared for President Trump confirming the existence of extraterrestrial life, according to sources close to the president. And it says the claim originates from Leading Report, which is his fucking fake AI disinformation site, okay? A fake news site founded by the Post author that promotes misinformation. The White House denied reports of such a speech. Okay? So this guy was posting this shit, and then Trump was posting, and then Trump was posting this shit. So you have Patrick Webb posting fake reports from the White House, and Trump is posting AI photos of him walking with an alien. Now, then Patrick Webb went on to say, the CIA is reportedly obstructing the disclosure of alien life. Okay, so this Patrick Webb guy is just all over the map. Trump has got a speech prepared. There's alien life. The CIA is blocking it. Tulsi Gabbard's going to release it. The deep state is blocking it. But meanwhile, Trump is posting this fake shit. Okay, alongside this, because again, these guys are in the group chat. Okay, whatever the narrative is for the day. Today we're going to talk about extraterrestrials. tomorrow they're going to be talking about whatever. I don't know, RFK Jr., like testosterone testing, like children in his grade school or whatever they're up to for the day. But this is all bullshit, okay? All of this is bullshit. But Trump, though, today, guys, has been on a bender, all right? Let's just look at some of his stuff today. So he's doing the fake AI-generated photo. Then he's doing some more AI photos of like what they do, what we do. Oh, they bad, me good, about his little, whatever, $13 million no-bid contract to his buddy for the reflecting pool. All right, there's Pink. Let's go. We love Pink, dude. Oh, there's me, right? Right? And look at this, dude. But notice, right? Notice the wording here. I want to point out the wording, okay? Because look at Benny Johnson. So Benny Johnson reposts Trump's thing, of course, because once this came out, while Patrick Webb was tweeting, Benny Johnson's on the list. So we got to repost Trump's thing. But notice the wording, okay? Do you notice the specific wording? New from President Trump on Truth, right? That's not an accident, guys, okay? It's not an accident. Benny doesn't normally talk like this. Everybody knows there's the little Truth Social symbol. Nobody cares where this is posted. And he doesn't say Truth Social, but he just puts the word truth in the post about the picture, right? And it's kind of this weird sort of like sideline misinformation. I mean, these are techniques. These are propaganda techniques, guys, that they use. This is the same way that, Benny Johnson makes these shorts with political themes, and he puts, the political heads on cartoon characters, and he uses Roblox sounds, okay? And he's making these videos for like 7-year-old kids, right? Same shit, man. It is just really careful, subliminal propagandizing, being very specific with this shit, okay? You know what I'm saying? Dude, this shit is wild, boss. Okay, that is wild. So Trump, though, was on a bender today, guys. All right, he did the alien shit. He did that. Let's find the Trump. Let's look at some of the Trump posts today. All right, oh, Jesus, dude. Dude, now that is an AI photo, dude. Like a wet dog, okay? He was on a bender today. Oh, here's another one, guys. Yeah, let's go to 𝗏𝗏, because I think 𝗏𝗏 covered them all. Let me show you this. We're gonna go to Gunther Eagleman, okay? Because Gunther reposted the one from, you got to see this. And yes, Gunther blocked me, right? Because Gunther is a soft fucking goon of a man, all right? Like all of these guys. But he posted the Trump one with the map of Iran, okay? There it is, okay? Look at this. This is worth looking at. So Gunther Eagleman posts, boom, President Trump just posted this brutal map showing Iran completely surrounded, red arrows closing in from every direction while the American flag flies over the region. The message is loud and clear. The net is tightening. Okay, look at that. Dude, there you go. Trump with a U.S. flag superimposed over Iran. All the arrows, like clearly, like, yeah, guys. Boy, the net is tightening. The message is clear, guys. You better watch out. Like Trump is only going to delay the big reckoning like 50 more times while they oil future. Yeah, I know, yawn. Oh, so boring, right? It's like, dude, Again, this is the Chevy Suburban that gets 200 miles to the gallon, right? But look at the bot responses in here. Watch these posts, though. Look at this. Look at what these people are saying. Like this guy, look at this. This person, whatever, Nadav, MAGA. LFG! His posts are literal, powerful enough to scare heads of states into submission, and the psyop and easy manipulation is absolutely amazing. And all it takes is the press of a few buttons. What an absolute legend! Dude, not a bot, people. All right? All right? This is really like, it's a real person. I swear. Dude, bro, what the hell, dude? Isn't this wild? Dude, hold on. I gotta go to the bathroom. I will be right back. I'm gonna leave you with some music. Hang tight. I'll be right back.
You're all I've got. You're all I want. You're all I've got. You're all I want. Back in the day, complications never wore my patience. I was always ready to play, play, play. Why face the day in the sunshine in LA? We hit the beach and rode the waves. I lost my balance, I was faded, faded. I was trapped and wrapped up in a scene that was never really me. Plastic lights and starry eyes, and all the freaks were left outside. So I'd look in and wonder why. Where was mine? I couldn't find it, but you're all I've got. You're all I want. Some days it just feels like this will never be enough. Most days it just feels like a struggle to catch up. And I won't mind the day I find what a peace of mind you are. 'Cause life is a wonderful mess. Time to walk away, trade my sunshine in for rain. Same old ways in a different place, but something's changing, changing. I wanted answers and direction. What I got was second guessing, hesitation, no sensation, just more questions. nothing to blame for being stuck inside this frame of mind. If I can find my way, who I am, what I want, where I'm going, where I was, it's not up to you. I wish there was something you could do, but you're not me, so you can be my answers, because you're all I've got. And you're all I want. Some days it just feels like this will never be enough. Most days it just feels like I've struggled to catch up. But I won't mind the day I find what a peace of mind you are. 'Cause life is a wonderful mess. You're all I've got.
All right.
You're all I want.
Thoughts and prayers, baby. All right, we're back. Sorry, I had to fucking take a Trump real quick. And I realized I wasn't going to make it through the dance party, so. Love the times you were in New York. Let's go. Yeah, New York is pretty amazing. I will be there in August. But all right, Trump has been taken. We're good to go. Dude, yeah, this shit is crazy. Dude, right? But isn't that wild? That is some shit. But this is the type of day Trump was having. Okay, Trump was on a post spree all day, okay, just like going off. Okay? He was literally just going off today, guys. It was like an onslaught of Trump posts, okay? Just an onslaught of Trump posts. Right? And this one was crazy. The Space Force, okay? He had the Space Force photos, like these weird AI photos of him. You know, President Trump gets younger. I mean, just looking at these things, right? All of the weird posts that he was posting. Then perhaps one of the craziest ones was like the nuclear weapon looking tweet. Let me find that one. This one, that he posted one that kind of looked like he was hitting the nuclear button. Okay, this one right here, right? Look at that. That is like, what the fuck is this, bro? He's sitting in his chair with the crazy screen, the AI, and he's like getting ready to push the button. Look at him. He looks like he just shit on his children or something. He's got that like, oh, I just shit my pants. Oh, I just shit in Caroline Levitt's underwear drawer. Oh, it's stinky now. It used to smell so good. He's pushing the button with all of these like explosions on the screen. Like, dude, I mean, guys, this is the dude who made up bone spurs multiple times to avoid going in the military, and yet he like, you know, like dreams about himself being some big like button pushing, blowing everybody up kind of guy. Like he's a real hard fucking guy. I'm a real hard guy. It's like, yo, dude, you are the biggest wuss. Biggest wuss out there. He's like a Frankenstein that like the minute he senses danger, he pisses his pants and goes running home to his mommy, right? You know what I mean? He is such a chicken shit. Stolen valor, dude. Yeah, he is like stolen, made up valor. He lied about stealing it. His valor is so stolen that he lied about stealing it. And you know, dude, what an idiot, bro. His little nuclear bomb fucking dreams. But meanwhile, here's Trump. What? Meanwhile, the real Trump is this. That's the real Trump. Right? There we go. Oh, yeah. There's. Right? This is the real Trump, dude. Sleepy time with Donnie. Sleepy so good. Oh, I'd love to go sleepy time. Oh, wait. Did somebody say underwear? Dude, look at him nodding off. Bro, what a fucking schlump, dude. What a schlump, dude. Isn't that funny? Sleepy Trump. There he is. Dude, there he is. Look at him. Dude, he's a warrior. He is a warrior, boss. A warrior among warriors. Look at him. So embarrassing. It is like, dude, let me just tell you guys, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole world, okay? I'm just going to let that play. But guys, the whole world, I don't think there is any country in the world that would have elected this guy president, okay? Like, maybe in 2016, but even then, I don't think so. Even then, but especially after the insurrection, after lying about the election for years, there is not a country in the fucking world that would have voted for this asshole. Like, we are the bottom, guys. We literally, if you rank the countries from top to bottom, we are the very bottom. How many countries are there in the world? 100 and some, 180, 140. Let's find out. There are 195. Okay, we are literally 195. We are number 195. There is no fucking doubt about it. Okay, just look at him. Look at that. Bottom. We are at the bottom, dude. Dude, let's go. Delight said a marquee 1.5 billion Trump Tower project in Australia's Gold Coast was scrapped after the local developer canceled the deal, citing the Trump brand as toxic to Australians. Yeah, dude, his brand is just toxic. The institution of peace. Dude, the Donald Trump institution of sleep. Oh my God, dude. And he's the guy who calls Biden Sleepy Joe, dude. He calls people Sleepy Joe. And he can't even fucking, can't even stay awake for like 2 minutes, bro. All right? There you go. All right, there's more. Dude, look at this. Trending in the United States. Teens, dude. I told you, look. I told you that Trump has been like on the internet a lot. Look at what's trending, guys. Every time Trump goes on an internet bender, dude, this is what's trending. Dude, MAGA's been on the internet all night, and look what's trending. Teens, accelerator gone with the wind. Dude, jailbait. Oh, Jesus. All right, you ready? Dude, it's time, dude. It is time for that dance party. I got to go make videos. Let's fucking go, baby. Let's go, let's go. Oh, 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 oh. Don me now, my Epstein's best friend. Huge fucking loser, President Trump. What a shit stain is this man? U.S. President Donald Trump. His whole family fucking sucks. Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. Stick a fork in this Nimrod's clutch. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Dude, I'm sorry. I had 240 milligrams of caffeine. I'm a little jacked up, rock star pumped. It's time for a little deja vu. I'm going to go ahead and get out. I'm going to go ahead and jump ship because I am on one. All right, you ready? Let's go. Let's go, baby. Ooh. Here we go, doing a little deja vu. Stephen Carlin. Oh, oh, oh. See you tomorrow night at the consistent time of 10 p.m. Pacific. Love you guys. In the meantime, stay radiant. Good night. Bye-bye.
Hey, just wanna change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't wanna hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. I just wanna change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure